Hey Jeffrey, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut photochromic gray transitional lenses with anti-glare coating for your new RayBan 2132 new Wayfarer, color 6052, which is the black crystal, and a 55 eye size. So let's begin. I'm going to take your frame out of its original packaging. This is your Italian leather RayBan case, your RayBan frame, and your RayBan cleaning cloth that I will put back inside your case. Now, RayBan sends it to me with a little plastic sleeve on the temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while shipping. If they think it's a good idea to send one, oops, there it is, I dropped it. I'm going to put a second one on there when I ship it to you, just so you'll have twice the protection. So that's that. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take all that off. Look at that G15 sticker. It's a little bit straight, but just off-center towards the nose. I've never seen them put one on there straight, or where it's supposed to be. But I'm going to pop your original heavy glass lenses out, reducing the weight of your frame by about 50%. Of course, that's the same frame I wear, except I wear it in the 52 eye size, and today I'm wearing color 6012, which is the tortoise and beige, just because I'm wearing those similar colors. And of course, I pop my lenses out of the frames every day and into a different color depending on what I'm wearing. But I'm going to put your Italian frame into my Italian Santanelli. It is the LE1000 patternless edger, and the stylus is coming up and tracing the shape of the right lens. Then it's going to move over and trace the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you receive free prescription clear lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses, whatever you want, but your prescription is free. And of course, you pay the upgrade to have the transition lenses and the anti-glare, so that's all you're paying for on top of the frame. So I'm going to put in your pupillary distance. These are polycarbonate lenses that I'm cutting on the soft cycle because of the anti-glare, which is they cut a little bit slower. And this is a plastic frame. Oops, I passed it. Let me come back around. Plastic frame. So I'm going to get your lenses ready. This is your right lens. I'm going to take them out of its protective sleeve, put it into my Marco 101 lensometer, find the optical center of your lens, and then put a dot in the center right in front of which marks your optical center. That's a little bit too light for you to see, so I'm going to darken that, and that is your right lens. I'm going to do the same thing now for the left. Take that out of its protective sleeve, rotate until I find the sphere power perfectly, the optical center, and let's put some dots on there. And that is the left for L. So this is a block that's going to hold it in place while it is cutting. And believe it or not, 3M, the same people who make Post-it notes, make a double-sided adhesive sticker. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that onto that side, pull away the tape to make it sticky on this side. And then essentially what I've got is a crosshairs. I've got a vertical meridian and a horizontal one. And I'm going to get that red dot. Hopefully you can see it as I move it around. I'm going to get that red dot dead center. And now I'm going to do the same thing for the left lens. Pull that sticker off. And now let's do the same thing for the left. Now the anti-glare coating that you have is, I'll explain all the benefits of it, but it's also a hydrophobic surface, meaning that it hates water. So I'm going to put an extra little sticker on the back so it grips really well while it's inside the machine. So I'm going to put your lens into the chuck and hit start. Of course, I like calling that the Charles because I don't know it well enough to call it Chuck. But these calipers are going to come down and it's going to trace the concave surface first, which is the back surface closest to your eyelashes. Just tracing the shape of the right side of the frame, and then it's going to go and trace the left side. I'm sorry, it's going to trace the convex side of the lens. We'll get to the left lens eventually, but it's going to trace, now it's tracing the convex side, all the while measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel so it fits best inside the frame. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the bottom left. It's like a heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind away your polycarbonate material, and this wheel in the center is what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the frame. I will have to close the door, but for now I just want you to see as your transition lenses touches down on the cutting wheel. So your lenses are, well, there's three main lens materials: glass, plastic, and polycarb. And glass has gone by the way of the dinosaur, except for a few sunglass lenses. But most people don't want to wear it every day due to the weight and the safety factor. If you're ever hit in the face and that cracks, that slices your eye wide open and will never heal. So, plastic is the most common and the least expensive. Polycarbonate is next. Polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. Your lenses are also virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to .22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Now, the anti-glare coating, it's 3 features in one. The first feature, it eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but also from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights, any glare source. The second feature, which makes it very popular, is it's an anti-reflection lens, so there's no reflections. Or at least eliminates it. There still might be some reflections, but eliminates most of them. Now, the reason why that's critical is it makes for better eye contact. When someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses. Or if someone takes a picture of a flash, the flash isn't lit up in the picture. And the third feature, though, like the practical side, is it comes with the best scratch coating of any lens. It's because we've got to protect the really nice coating, that anti-glare coating, so they put the strongest scratch coating of any of them. Now, if you notice, your lens is completely flat around the edges. It's now getting the bevel put on there. It's flat just like a nickel. If I were to take it out, it would stand up on the counter. But it's actually getting the bevel put on there. Now, polycarbonate cuts dry. There is water running in the background, but it cuts dry. Now, there are 2 water jets that are going to kick in just a moment. And it's going to start to wash away any optical debris like this that I'm pulling off your lens. There we go. It always does that in the last 20 seconds of the cycle. So we'll take it out in just a moment and see if it fits, which I'll be extremely skeptical. I know from experience that the 55 eye size, the bevel is much deeper than the 52. So more than likely I'm going to have to take it down some more. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, let's go ahead and stop it and we'll go ahead and check it right now. Now the next thing I want to do is actually dry your lens off, just so it's not slippery while I'm working on it, because it's embarrassing when I drop a lens on live TV. It does happen 1 out of every 1,000 lenses. Woohoo! No, just kidding, just kidding. So you still have some rough edges left over, so I'm going to my handstone now, which is completely flat. I can put my finger on it. My finger gets warm due to the friction, but it's that friction to smooth out those rough edges. You see this white powdery substance around your lens. I'm going to scrape that off. That is called Schwarf. And once it's all off of your lens and onto the counter, I wipe it on the floor. Sorry, I gotta have fun while I'm at work. So by the way, the color 6052 is the black crystal. Really, really nice frame. Guys, if you're thinking about getting a frame, this is the one. Every guy needs black and platinum because it matches the black and platinum that we wear. So I'm gonna tuck it in at the outside corner and push down with my thumbs, and it's not even close to going down, so I'm gonna take it down. I'm gonna, oops, not the PD. We're gonna go back up there. Let's go down to the size. And I'm going to take it down a considerable amount to see if we can get it to fit this time around. Now the right lens always takes longer. Once I get the size perfect, I'll flip it over and cut the left. But the right lens always takes the longest. So it's going to bypass the cutting wheel and just go straight to the bevel wheel this time. And it's going to go round and around until it takes about a 1/4 of a millimeter off your lens. Now a millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to go all the way around until I can get a 1/4 of a millimeter off, or until it pops in rather easily with just the slightest amount of pressure. And once both lenses are in there, I'm going to let you watch as I turn them dark for the very first time. Round and round it goes. Okay. Now let's see if it fits this time. Alright, back to the handstone, back to the safety bevel real quick. And back to scraping that off your lens real fast. And then back onto the floor. You know the deal. Okay. So, again, to see if the lens fits, I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner closest to me using my thumbs. Whoa, it's still alive. Using my thumbs, I press down, and there's still some resistance, so I'm going to take it down some more. You can always go more. Let's always go more. So let's hit retouch one more time. I know you've seen this part before, but I got to get the size just right before I can continue with the left. I do not want to force it into your frame. If I were to force it, it would actually stretch your frame and cause it to be disfigured, and that's just a terrible cosmetic look. And I'm a perfectionist. I aim for the center of the bullseye with every pair of lenses that I cut, and I'm just not going to ship anything that I'm not proud of. That's the one great thing about being a one-man show. I control every quality, every aspect of the business. Trust me, you want a perfectionist like me cutting your lenses. This is something you're going to wear every waking moment. Do not settle for subpar quality. Okay, it's coming out now, and let's see if this fits. Try everything off again. Back to the handstone. There we go. Now again, I start at the outside corner, and then using my thumbs, I press down. Gracious, this thing is stubborn. There we go. It snaps in rather easily that time. So let me go ahead and flip this over, and we're going to do the left. And hit start. Just like before, the caliper is going to come down, but this time they're going to trace the shape of the left side of the frame. Again, starting with the concave surface first, the rear surface, the back surface closest to your eyelashes. And then it's going to move forward and trace the convex side of the lens, which is the front of the lens. Let me just clean some of that optical debris off. Now the nice thing about your hydrophobic coating is that you'll never need a liquid cleaner to clean your glasses again because of your anti-glare coating. All you're going to need is the RayBan cleaning cloth, or the one that I will provide. I also provide cleaning instructions so that your RayBan case, cleaning cloth, and glasses will last you for years. No other seller on the internet does that. And I also include a photo request just to have your picture on the website. There we go. Clean up my mess here. Now your prescription, let me go ahead and deblock this. There we go. Your prescription reads a -350 in both eyes, 350 sphere, which means you have no astigmatism correction. The unit of measurement we use in the optical field is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. Being -350, you need 14 steps of correction, because everything is in quarter increments, starting with 0 being plano, also known as non-prescription, and goes up in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. At 350, you're on the 14th rung of a ladder. So without your glasses on, everything is actually much larger in real life than it really appears. So when you put your glasses on, it shrinks everything down to the correct size. You have no astigmatism correction, and astigmatism just refers to a shape. And That's what makes 6s and 8s, or the letters P and F look alike. You have no blurry vision, you just have to control the size. And when you put these on, everything corrects that. There we go. If you notice, your lens is completely flat. Now it's actually getting the bevel put on there. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. Let me make sure that no water has sprayed onto the lens. Okay, dry everything off. All right. Oops, stop. Wrong button. Stop. Now let's open it up. Again, dry everything off. Back to the safety bevel real quick. Okay, now again, I have the empty side closest to me. I tuck it in at the outside corner, then use my thumbs. I press down, and it snaps in perfectly. So let me deblock this. Pull the sticker off the back. Now your pupillary distance is 61.5. So when I hold the back of the card up, I'm going to put the 0 on my thumb on your right lens, and then when I hold it up, we're at 61.5. Hopefully my GoPro camera is good enough to show you that, so that's made perfectly. Now 2 more things I want to do before I get these shipped to you is 1, clean off your lenses, get those red dots off of your lenses, and make sure it's in standard alignment. Now I do like to point out that 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you need them to. So if you get these and they're too loose or they're too tight or they're high on one side, because 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other, and I'm no different. When I take mine off and set mine on the counter, mine wobble because I have one ear that's higher than the other. But for now, I'm going to put yours on the counter, press down, make sure there is no wobble, flip them over. There is no wobble. Make sure that each temple overlaps perfectly, and they do. Same amount of tension on each hinge. And now I want to turn your lenses from clear to dark. I'm going to put them in my little transitions box that just has a strong ultraviolet light in there, so you can watch them darken. Now, transition lenses take about 30 to 45 seconds to darken when you go outside. They take a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now, all transition lenses will get dark on day 1. If you give them 2 weeks, they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks until they get to their final setting. After that, they're going to work for years at maximum performance. The only time they will not work is when you're in a car, with a traditional car, with a, unless you're in a convertible or a motorcycle, they will not darken. It's your windshield absorbs all the sun's ultraviolet rays that would cause them to turn dark. That's why they won't turn dark in a car. But now you have a reason to go out and get that motorcycle you've always wanted, so they will darken. Now, they are temperature sensitive, meaning they'll get darker below 85 degrees. Once it gets into the 90s and especially closer to 100 degrees, they just don't get as dark as they do when it's 85 and below. I like to remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees, you don't work as hard, they don't work as hard. Everybody is miserable when it's 100 degrees. Now, Jeffrey, that's it, and don't you worry, they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks until they get to their final setting. If anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Jeffrey, I hope you enjoyed watching your glasses being made, and everyone else got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.